Let's bring in my next guest. Joining me now is political journalist John Fund. John, thanks so much for joining us here on the U.S. Report. First of all, I've got to get your thoughts on those House committee hearings. We played a bit earlier in the program. What did you make of the testimony that the whistleblowers offered, as well as this FBI form that Chuck Grassley has just dropped?
Well, I share with Bacho, your previous guest. I'm torn between whether I'm more surprised at what the testimony revealed about the politicization of the Justice Department, or more surprised that the media has decided this is not a story worth covering. And we'll find out which is ultimately going to be the most important. But the real issue here is this. You know, the American people have a right to say, well, all of Washington is sordid, all of Washington is sleazy. This is just another example of administration being shown in that light. However, going forward, this president is running for re-election. This president has a decent chance of being reelected. We are looking at a situation that they can't be bottled up forever. So whether it's this year, next year, or 2025, the Biden family story is going to come tumbling out. And that will leave, at best, a weakened president, and perhaps a president who will have to be impeached, perhaps a president who may have to submit himself to all kinds of questions and actually be forced to answer them. Now, the other problem is this. Joe Biden, if this story is true, that he was clearly lying about knowing about the associations of Hunter Biden with all kinds of sketchy people and taking in money with the understanding that it was for family access and for access to the president or the vice president, as Biden was, that means Biden was subjecting himself to blackmail. You cannot do that. That imperils the national security of the country. We saw how far Richard Nixon went to avoid stories about Watergate from coming out. We saw how far Bill Clinton went, denying even the fact that he knew more than nodded at Monica Lewinsky. A president can't subject himself to blackmail. And in this case, Biden was jeopardizing the country if these charges are true.